Welcome to Through Burnout, the bilingual podcast that helps you understand burnout better and gives you solutions to heal and live again. My name is Florence Parrow, and I am a sophrology practitioner, coach, author, and burnout expert. In this podcast, on my own or in conversation with other specialists, in French or in English, I'll help you understand the full picture of burnout to better avoid it or recover from it. Through Burnout, the podcast that helps you understand and heal.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm really happy to welcome you to this very first interview on the theme of managing pain in burnout. And I have with me today Audrey Zannese, who is also a sophrologist. And Audrey, maybe I'll let you introduce yourself in a few words.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Florence, for having me. It's lovely to be here. So my name is Audrey Zannese. I am a sophrologist who specializes in helping women living with chronic illness, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and also people who are suffering with anxiety and burnout. So I help them to basically take back control of their body, their health, so that they can live their lives the way they want. Rather than being dictated by their condition.
That sounds amazing. That's great work. So let's dive in. In burnout, we are feeling pain. So why is there pain in burnout in the first place? Because I see it in my clients. So it comes as a real surprise. So why is there pain there, really?
Yes, that's a very good question. And as you say, it's something that often isn't expected. So let's just go about quickly what burnout is. And that's the fact of having been exposed to too much stress for too long. And there reaches a point where the body says stop and you physically collapsed. And so what has happened before you had this collapse is that basically you've been suffering with chronic stress. And so when you are stressed, whether you realize it or not, your body starts tensing. So body tension starts being generated in the body and accumulates. And often because you are getting on with your things and there's never a time to pause and you are very busy, you don't notice those tensions. You don't listen to your body. And when you collapse, everything kind of flags up and you realize how much tension you've been carrying. So I often have people who suffer with a lot of musculoskeletal problems, lots of pain in the body, especially in the neck, in the back. But there are also other issues other types of pain. Because this chronic stress response that they have been under for several months and often several years, it means that during that time, they were keeping on releasing stress hormones all the time. And people have to understand that we are not designed to be in kind of survival mode all the time. And so when we release the stress hormones all the time, this has impacts on our own biology. And that means that our body is going to invest energy into defense mechanisms rather than the processes of repair, of healing. And that has consequences. So one of the stress hormones, the cortisol, is really good as well at masking symptoms. So you don't experience the pain at the time you are in that stress defense mode. But if you keep like this all the time and it keeps accumulating, there comes a point where the system collapses and basically you get all unbalanced and the hormones are not secreted anymore. And that's when you really feel the pain. And so because your body would have invested, as I said, in the defense rather than the repairs, you start seeing imbalances. I often have people that have gastrointestinal problem, very constant or regular headaches, and that is happening as well when we are in burnout.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important because I think people don't realize all that stress, all that pain in a way has accumulated. and suddenly feel in such a level of pain that it's excruciating and very unexpected. So once that has happened, it's there. What can you do about it?
Well, I'm hoping that already by hearing this, people can understand that it is kind of normal to experience pain as a symptom, because already when you collapse and you often don't see it coming, so that's already really stressful in itself because you don't know what's happening. You're just left here and you can't do anything anymore when you were perfectly functioning the day before. So it's really scary in itself. So I just want to say already, well, if you experience the pain and the anxiety, that's normal. That's part of the process. The thing is also to understand that has been accumulating, as I said, for months, often for years. So now you are starting your process of recovery, your journey to get better. But of course, it's going to take a little time to reverse what mechanisms have happened biologically in your body. So it's going to be a step-by-step process. However, this is now the opportunity for people, even if it might be difficult, to really reconnect in a gentle and positive way with their body and to listen to themselves. And that is part of the healing journey. So for managing the pain in particular, first, allowing yourself to be with what is, but also trying to activate your own relaxation response. And one thing I do a lot with the clients that come to me with pain management, one of the first things we do is that, you know, when you are anxious and you're feeling pain, it becomes all-encompassing. So my take is always to, okay, actually, let's try to calm down. And we have special techniques in sophrology for doing that. Let's try to look within, and actually let's look very closely. Is everything in pain as you believe or perceive? Or is there actually somewhere that is feeling all right, no matter how small that part of the body is? And often people are surprised when we do this type of exercises because they've come up with something and they say, oh, but this was feeling all right and I wasn't expecting it. And that's the start of the journey, starting to reconnect with the body in what I say, a gentle, positive way. And the more of those experiences that you build, and the more you are capable to listen to your body, to sense, because of course the energy management is going to be critical as well in burnout. The more you can sense before pushing your limits again, how to take a break, how to restore your energy, the more you're going to be able to manage the pain symptoms. Because at the end of the day, we all have this capacity to modulate our experiences, and that includes the pain experience. What I mean by modulating is that we are all in our inbuilt system, the way our brain works, the capacity to either bring the volume up or to bring it down.
Excellent, fantastic. And I mean, as you mentioned, I mean, we do have a lot of techniques and tools in sophrology that can help with that. I mean, I don't know if you wanted to maybe share something else around that, or a little tip or something that maybe you feel could start helping people in that process.
So if I had a tip, I mean, or a few things that I would recommend for people to do, as I said, first is very often during the day, take a break, sense how you feel. And there and then, if you notice any particular tension that you can release, allow yourself to release those. If there are some that you can't release, also don't panic about it. It's okay, just be with it. But where you can release it, and do that very often, again, to manage your energy levels. And by doing this as well on a very regular basis through your day, you're going to start to become more aware of how you function, what triggers you, what may generate some pain flares, and that's going to give you insights on how to manage it. Now, when it comes to trying to work with the pain itself, as I said, my first go-to is always activating the relaxation response. And for different people, different things might be working. So for some, it would be rather around breathing exercises, perhaps extending your out breath. Some people are more visual. They will, let's say, invite a color in that they feel is comforting or soothing, or perhaps imagine themselves in a beautiful place just to chill out. And in terms of pain management, my first go-to is always to try to focus away from it. So perhaps going to a nice place, perhaps focusing on a part of the body that is not in pain. But we also have, as you know, some other techniques where we can also work with the pain, trying to perhaps objectify it and then modify the sensations. As I said, we all have this capacity within us to modulate the pain experience.
That's fantastic, and I think there's plenty there already for people to get started with trying to better manage their pain. So that's brilliant. Thank you, Audrey. As you know, at La Bulle, we help people go from overwhelm to serenity. So I wanted to ask you, for you personally, how do you find serenity in your life? What helps you?
What helps me? So sophrology, without being completely sophrology, actually, really the best for me is to connect with nature. And it doesn't mean that I have to go somewhere ultra wild or far away. It can just be being in the garden, but being in my sensations and being in the here and now, in the present moment, so that there and then when I can feel the wind on my face or the sun, I can hear the birds, and I am basically coming back to that essence of being and not being in the doing, just the essence of being, which for me works a lot when I am around nature. That's where I find my instant serenity, and I reconnect to myself, and I'm just with my breathing and my sensations and the sensations around, feeling connected. And that is such a resource for me. So that's my tip, and that's what I do when I feel actually the overwhelm and there is too much to do. I always say when I don't have the time, that's when I need to take the time to go out and to pause and to be without doing anything, just be.
That's brilliant. That's great advice. Thank you very much, Audrey, for that. If people want to get in touch with you or find out how to work with you, where does they find you?
Yes, so they can find me at stepintosophrology.co.uk. I'll also give you my Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn if people prefer to connect with me on social media. But everything is there. There are the services I have. I do work with people one-to-one. I also have a course that I do as a group. And I have also some exciting online courses coming up in the near future.
Fantastic. So we'll put everything in writing as well so that everyone can find you. Well, Audrey, thank you very much for joining me today. It was a great pleasure to have you. And to all of you, I hope to see you here in this space again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.